Brussels. Britain agreed Friday to a series of concessions to the European Union in negotiating its split from the bloc, leaders said, as Prime Minister Theresa May overcame bitter divisions in her own nation to advance to a crucial new phase of talks. The bargain amount to a capitulation by May on issues dear to the European Union, preserving peace in Northern Ireland, guaranteeing rights for the 3 million EU citizens living in Britain, and living up to British funding commitments in Europe for decades to come. On those issues and a host of others, Britain has been forced to fold to the European Union after saying, earlier this year, that it held the upper hand in the negotiations. Instead, British negotiators have found a largely united European Union that sees little need to give in to London's demands. Friday's agreement appears likely to unlock the next phase of the Brexit negotiation, focused on trade between the European Union and an unfettered Britain after it exits in March 2019. Both sides warned that the upcoming talks will be harder than the first round, which lasted 8 contentious months. It hasn't been easy for either side, May said in an early morning news conference in Brussels following all-night talks, after a disagreement over borders between Northern Ireland and Ireland nearly derailed the deal earlier this week. She called the deal a hard-won agreement in all our interests. European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker said he planned to recommend that European leaders approve advancing the talks when they meet at a summit next week. They are expected to follow his advice. Sufficient progress has now been made on the strict terms of the divorce, Juncker said. This was a difficult negotiation for the European Union as well as for the United Kingdom. On Brexit, May's toughest adversary is not Europe but critics in Britain. Despite the appearance of good cheer on both sides, significant tensions appeared to remain embedded in the agreement over the divorce deal, which will not be finalized until the very end of the full Brexit negotiation. British factions have squabbled about how to preserve the 1998 Good Friday Agreement, which depends on a borderless passage between the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland, as Britain seeks new trade independence that would typically require a border. Friday's deal appears to kick the can down the road on the topic, with Britain agreeing to maintain full alignment with EU customs and trade regulations in the absence of other solutions to preserve a borderless island of Ireland. May has had to thread a needle between the tiny Northern Ireland Democratic Unionist Party, which supports her weak government in Parliament and wants to ensure a seamless relationship with the rest of the United Kingdom, and hardline Brexit advocates who want maximum independence from the European Union. The Good Friday Agreement in all of its parts is protected, said Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar, who pushed in recent weeks for the open border. The two sides also compromised on how the rights of European citizens will be guaranteed in post-Brexit Britain.